Hello and welcome to Coach's Decision, a sports talk show that touches on subjects from the Bay Area and beyond. My name is Thomas Todd. I will be your host this evening. In studio with me, he's wearing a soccer jersey over his basketball jersey. It's Joaquin Nagel.
Always and forever, Thomas. Staying undefeated on Coach's Decision.
So we're going to round out the show. We're going to start with basketball. We're going to end with soccer, just to keep you interested.
Thank you. Thank you. It'll be a nice change of pace.
Yeah, pace is a big thing in basketball.
Pace
too,
and
I've
space.
heard. Pace and space. There's a lot of space between us. If you need me to slow down the pace at all, if you're not keeping up.
I think I can keep up with you on the NBA, Thomas.
You can slow down to Daniel Zarchi levels if you need to.
Well, you have to consider.
He's a lawyer. He's going to lull the judges to sleep, and then he's going to win his case. We're going to talk about Kristaps Porzingis. We're talking about Champions League. Jeff Samar just signing with the Giants. The D-backs making splashes in baseball. But we have to start because we have 76 problems.
And a win ain't one?
And a win ain't
or maybe
one.
just one?
A win is just one of them. The 76ers have one win on the season, and the NBA is taking it personally.
Yeah, the owners have lobbied for external for people to come in from the outside of the organization.
Oh, I thought you said ex-Stern.
No. No one's lobbying for. Is that David Stern's music?
No, don't let it happen. Don't hide the children.
No, they've hired Jerry Colangelo, not to be mistaken with his son Brian Colangelo, who was fired from Toronto.
Mike Colangelo.
Yeah, no, the former. The former head of USA Basketball at this point, who's over the past 11 years built a pretty strong relationship with a bunch of different NBA stars. They've developed the USA Basketball program ever since the debacle in 2004, in which they won bronze, to actually have younger stars play in the FIBA championships and then have more established NBA stars play in the Olympics. And he's sort of orchestrated that whole process, and now he's been brought in as the president of basketball operations.
Oh, no, I have the term, because I wanted to ask you about this. The term is special advisor to the managing general partner and chairman of basketball operations.
Yes.
I don't know whether he was the special advisor to the managing partner and the chairman, or he's the special advisor to the managing partner and he is also the chairman.
He is the chairman.
Okay.
Because Sam Hinkie is the general manager. The managing partner is the owner. And there is no chairman at this point.
Okay.
The chairman of basketball operations is the sort of thing they can always hire someone to be and fire them from whenever they so choose.
Right. Here is my question, though. Did the Sixers want Jerry Colangelo, or was he forced upon them by the league?
I really don't know. I can't figure it out. Can the league
do stuff like that? Because what I'm hearing and reading is that owners were complaining that the Sixers play in a big market. They're supposed to be revenue sharing, paying the tax, being a normal big market NBA team.
Being a business.
Right.
Operating like a business.
Well, but the thing is, they are operating like a business because they're trying to succeed in their part of the business, not for the greater good of the NBA.
Yeah, what they're actually doing is they're operating as based on their incentives as presented to them by the collectively bargained product that is the NBA.
Now we're getting into the same kind of talk that the special advisor to the chairman.
Sorry, the thing about it is the NBA is a monopoly when it comes to basketball, and so they have all these provisions for all the teams in the league. It's not like
WNBA.
But that's part of the NBA.
That's true.
But it's not like, European club soccer where teams can be relegated and teams have to operate in their own best interest to be as best as they can every season. Like, you can be as bad as you want for as long as you want without repercussions based on how things have been currently negotiated.
But here are the repercussions. And I don't think this is fair. I think if the Philadelphia 76ers want to go 0-82 and challenge the Detroit Lions as the worst franchise, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the worst franchise in the history of professional sports, they should be allowed to do that.
So I think that they have a bunch of blind spots when it comes to what their plan and what their process is. Like
they're allowed to be wrong, though.
Yeah, they're allowed.
Make every team be right.
They're allowed to be wrong, but I just don't. I find it really conflicting that in America we're so gung-ho about capitalism and about independence, and then we prop up our professional sports franchises so that they can fail for years and years in a row. Like, I don't see how that goes along with the ethos of how the economy works.
Yeah, I just don't understand. The rules were given.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Hinkie and his partners and his owner said, we're going to play it this way. This is how we're going to play our poker hand. But the casino can't come in and tell you how to play your poker hand.
Well, in this case, they can.
They did.
They did.
I don't know if they can or not, but they did.
I think, the owners can always have a supermajority to vote for passing new bylaws.
But what's the new bylaw they passed? What's the bylaw they're even referencing?
I don't know. Maybe they're more likely threatening passing new bylaws unless the Sixers change something.
Get this geezer away from my team. He might help us too much. He might accidentally win some games.
He might prevent us from drafting the next debacle of a young big man.
If you want to talk about bylaws and changing them, then make there be lottery incentives where you can't finish in the top 5 in the lottery in 2 straight years.
Or if you finished in the top 7 in the lottery for 3 straight years, you're ineligible to have a lottery pick.
Yeah, you don't get a pick. Take away their picks.
Or just make their picks outside of the lottery. Or flatten out the lottery odds and allow playoff teams in the lottery. You could do a lot of things.
You can construct the draft and the lottery many different ways, but forcing a human being into a franchise in hopes that he will make it succeed despite itself is a very fruitless exercise, in my opinion.
Jerry Colangelo is a former owner in Phoenix, and I wouldn't be surprised if part of however this deal works out leads to him being a partial owner in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yes.
So if that happens, that means obviously they wanted him to be there. I'm just really curious whether they want him to be there or not.
Yeah, I'm hope that he just brings in some veterans for this Philadelphia team to at least teach these young players professionalism.
Like what the Minnesota Timberwolves are doing.
Exactly. Like KG, Andre Miller, and Tayshaun Prince with the Timberwolves, just teaching the young guys how to be NBA basketball players. And
the professor, the big ticket. What does Tayshaun have a nickname?
The alien? I don't know.
I guess when your name's Tayshaun Prince, you don't really need a nickname.
He's the second most alien-looking dude
after Sam Cassell.
Yeah, there's an image that'll always be burned into my mind of Tayshaun Prince doing a shoulder shimmy that also caused his face to wiggle, and he has that really long face, and they super slow-moed it. It was like the 2005 finals with the Pistons and the Spurs, like the worst finals of all time.
Okay, speaking of players that remind you of alien beings.
Yes.
Kristaps.
Porzingis?
The Porzingis.
He's come down from Latvia to bless us with his presence.
The Latvian heavens. Americans don't know where Latvia is. It might as well be in space.
It's like that. It's that city from Avengers: Age of Ultron that was floating up above the world, right?
I never saw
that. Was that Latvia?
I didn't see that movie.
No.
Well,
Thor. You're doing okay.
I don't like Thor.
Okay.
He's everything I'm not. He's blonde. He's beautiful. He's built. He can use a hammer.
He's been to the gym.
Been to the gym. I still can't lift a hammer. So you like Kristaps.
Oh, I love him.
NBA Reddit loves Kristaps.
Yes.
New York fans are cautiously optimistic. Which
no, they're all in. They're all in.
I think they're still cautiously
optimistic. That kid who was crying at the draft when taking selfies of himself crying when the Knicks drafted Porzingis, apparently now owns a Porzingis jersey. Yeah, let's just think about that.
Kids don't know what they're doing. I remember my 17-year-old cousin, I was talking to him last year, and he's like, I really like Pablo Prigioni. And I was like, yeah, he's cool. He's my favorite player. It's like, something's wrong with you.
He's the oldest person to ever play point guard.
Is that true?
No.
Oh, okay. Derek Fisher, maybe.
Bob Cousy. I don't know. There's been a lot of people who've played point guard before, but Prigioni and Terry combined to be the oldest starting backcourt of any NBA team in the playoffs.
Keep getting them checks, Jason Terry.
Oh, always.
He was old when they won that title.
He got that Larry O'Brien trophy tattoo when they won with Dallas, and then when he went to Boston, he got the Boston logo tattooed around it, and then of course the Celtics went nowhere.
Yeah. Oh well.
2012.
So
he thought it was 2009.
Porzingis versus Towns.
Yes.
It's close statistically.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now, per 100 possessions, for Porzingis you get 26.6 points and 16.2 boards versus for Towns 26.3 points and 16.2 boards. So it's pretty much the same.
Towns is a slightly better defender.
Towns is not only a better defender now, but projects to be a better defender moving forward.
He has the tools.
Porzingis
needs the body to fill out a little bit.
Porzingis does have the height on his shot release to always be a threat with the jumper for catch and shoot and to get his shot off in any situation, even when other teams are closing out. But Towns just has more tools. He's still a better prospect, no matter how this Rookie of the Year race winds up.
Okay, so you don't vote for best. If you had to vote, you don't vote for best prospect. You vote for best season or
for Rookie of the Year. Yes.
Rookie of the Year. Okay.
Yeah, But when it comes down to Towns and Porzingis will get more press forever because he's in New York.
And he's a giant Latvian man.
He's a giant Latvian.
He just doesn't make any sense.
Yes,
it's like
true.
If Sean Bradley was much more foreign.
He's 7'2" without shoes on.
My goodness.
It's baffling.
And it's not Towns can't even get any press for having awkwardly a first and second name and hyphenated in his first. I don't understand why. Who names their kid?
People
Carl?
call him Cat. People are calling him Cat.
It's a stupid
and
name.
KP.
I mean, I get the initial thing, but Cat's dumb. He's just Carl Towns. He's got to drop the Anthony. Got to drop the Anthony.
Yeah, I think that's already been done. I think we're getting shorter and shorter when it comes to his name.
The Knicks should drop the Anthony too.
Oh, you think so? That's a good point though. Carmelo Anthony and Kristaps Porzingis are on very different timelines when it comes to potentially winning basketball players. Mm-hmm. Like Carmelo needs to win now. Carmelo is 1 year older than LeBron, and he's trying to drag this roster with a 19-year-old kid from Latvia to the playoffs. Whereas the Knicks probably need to focus on developing Kristaps versus trying to win with Anthony.
Melo's at the point in his career right now where when the season's not going well, he just sits out.
Yes.
Because he's saving his miles. So you can't save him till Kristaps is an all-star. You just can't do it. So they will coexist for a while. New York needs to win some games. I mean, come on. It's a sad franchise. They can't go full Sixers.
They're not going to go full Sixers.
Kristaps is not the white Joel Embiid. Because there is no white Joel Embiid.
For all we know, there is no Joel Embiid. He could be a figment of all of our imaginations from a couple of years ago.
He's just a fake guy sliding into celebrity DMs. You wanted to touch on the Warriors before we move on.
Oh, I was going to say he's Lene Kukuing all over the internet.
This conversation is too over.
Oh, goodness.
We got to talk about the Warriors because they're so good.
Yeah, just a quick check-in on the local favorites.
I have Curry stats. I want Curry stats.
No. I'm here to say that Clay said he would be good by Friday, and he was shooting jumpers after practice today. So there is a chance he'll play in Boston. It's not like they're not playing take a player away from the Warriors until they lose a game.
Oh, my goodness.
With Bogut and Harrison. Harrison's not coming back till the end of the road trip. But Bogut looked more mobile against Indiana, and Clay, there's a good chance Clay will be back on Friday.
He's been on fire.
Yes. Yeah, he's his back seems to be feeling better, and ever since then his efficiency has shot through the roof.
Steve Kerr's having headaches. Is that from back surgery? Is your body just so
That's from
wrecked?
the spinal fluid leak and the complications with back surgery.
I mean, having a bad
That's why Luke Walton's out there getting 0 wins.
You watched Game of Zones, right?
Yes.
The Warriors edition. Did you watch the Warriors watching Game of Zones?
Yes, that's exactly what I watched.
What you need.
Also, did you see that today San Francisco okayed the plan for the private arena in Mission Bay?
Do we like that?
I like the ability
Do you like that, Joaquin? Do you like that?
Thank you, Kurt. I like the ability to take the Caltrain to the game instead of having to sit in traffic or trying to drive to Fremont.
You know what you can do on the Caltrain that you can't do on almost anything else?
Drink.
I
like the ability to pregame on the Caltrain. So I can't say that I'm against the Mission Bay
I love Oakland. Oakland's a great city. I love San Francisco too. I'll be there on Friday. I'm going to meet Jeff Samardzija, but we'll talk about that with Danny. But
don't you just love the ability to go out after the game at Oracle, just walk to that vibrant bar restaurant neighborhood that's right by the air? I don't know. I
don't want in 5 years there to be no teams in Oakland because the Raiders are going to be gone.
The A's are going to stay.
They're trying not to.
They can't go to San Jose.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Where are they going to go? The San Leandro A's? San Lorenzo A's?
Ooh, that could be good. Come around here, playing Kaiser Permanente.
The Howard A's.
We'll open up Kaiser Permanente's roof. So you can hit home runs out of it. I don't know. All right, we're going to go to our first sponsorship break. Our first sponsor is 99 Bottles, our first sponsor ever. They're a wonderful restaurant in downtown Santa Cruz. Both Joaquin and I have spent a lot of our youth there drinking and eating it away, watching sports. You can do anything at 99 Bottles. You've got a huge selection of beer. You can drink so many beers, they'll put a plaque on the wall with your name on it, on a brick. It's fantastic. The owners down there are great. The staff is fantastic. The food's delicious. There's not much more I can say. It's in downtown Santa Cruz. It is on Walnut Street between Pacific and Cedar. Go to 99 Bottles. Go to Trivia Night. Go to their Pint Night. Do everything that they have to do. Joaquin, give your stamp of approval.
Love 99 Bottles.
And you're a fan of nice things. Like yeah. I can go to Denny's. I can eat anywhere.
Fair.
But you give your approval, and I like booze, so...
Yeah, waffle fries, stamp of approval. Bottle selection, stamp of approval as well.
Okay, well, it's that time of the show where we bring on my college friend, Daniel Zarchi, recent lawyer, huge baseball fan, huge NL West fan. We're going to talk about the NL West because they're making a splash. How you doing, Danny? Oh, Danny's not here. Oh, there you are, Danny. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Excellent. You sound fantastic. You in a good mood?
I'm happy to be doing something other than work.
Okay. I know we know a Diamondbacks fan, right? Little Rob.
Is he, though? Or is it just the peer pressure?
I think it's the peer pressure. Our friend Little Rob moved to Arizona a few years ago. He kind of got stuck there, and it's hard to get out. So he's a Diamondbacks fan now. They're making a splash.
They are. Oh, the biggest Diamondbacks fan I knew was my grandma, but she has passed. But she would have been very happy with what they were doing now.
She would love Greinke?
Yeah. She'd know every stat. She'd know everything about him.
So they got Greinke and Shelby Miller, correct?
Yeah, they gave away the farm for Shelby Miller. I mean, that I don't understand the contract the trade unless, I don't know, Dave Stewart is legitimately afraid that he's going to lose his job if they don't win the division, or the World Series. But it seems like an awful trade.
Once you get Greinke, you have to push all the chips in because, A, you've weakened the Dodgers and the Giants by getting Greinke because they were both in on him and both needed him. Once you get him, go for the jugular. You've got Paul Goldschmidt in his prime. You've got this A.J. Pollock kid in the outfield. Those are both centerpiece players. You throw in Greinke on a massive contract. They have the other pitcher, remind me his name. I'm losing it.
Corbin.
Patrick Corbin?
Yeah.
Okay, good. He's the one who wasn't Tyler Skaggs. Tyler Skaggs was the name I can come up with. But so they've got two frontline pitchers, now a third frontline pitcher, and
Archie
two hitters.
Bradley.
Yeah, Archie Bradley, but he's not as proven.
Yeah.
But right now they're the best team in the NL West.
Well, I mean, I think the best thing I saw on the internet was somebody saying congratulations to the Diamondbacks for winning the San Diego Padres award for best offseason.
Well, we can do that. We can reverse that a couple of years because you could say the Padres, you could say the Blue Jays, you could say the Marlins. They've all made these huge splashes, gotten predicted to win the playoffs by every pundit and prognosticator, and then it hasn't happened. But if you look at those off seasons, this is different. The Marlins one was like, oh, they got Mark Burley. Oh, Mark Burley. This is Zach Greinke. This is a guy who's consistently 40% better than a regular pitcher.
Well, sure, but I mean the thing is that the Diamondbacks had a really good offense last year, and they had really, really terrible pitching, and so Greinke obviously pushes them up the ranks in terms of what we think their pitching staff is going to be. I mean, I personally don't think Greinke is going to be, a sub-2 ERA or even
you can never predict anyone's going to have a sub-2 ERA.
I mean, I think we need to realistically expect Greinke's going to be a really good pitcher, probably a top 10 pitcher, but he's not Kershaw. He's nowhere near Kershaw in terms of reliability. And so the Diamondbacks got a really good pitcher, and I would have loved to have him on the Giants, but it's not like their rotation is immediately great. And Corbin, coming back from Tommy John, I mean, we have no idea. He looked good, but great. And then you've got Shelby Miller, who, is an above-average pitcher on the Braves with Andrelton Simmons behind him, but we have no idea how he's going to translate to Chase Field or the Bob or whatever you want to call it.
Right, it's just that the other teams in the division are running out of moves. They're knocking over all the chess pieces. The Giants were interested in trading for Shelby Miller. Dodgers and Giants were both trying to get Greinke, so they're just wiping the board.
Right, but the Diamondbacks, in order to get a pretty good pitcher, gave away 5 years of a cost-controlled, really good defensive outfielder in Ender Inciarte. They gave away a top 100 pitching prospect, and they gave away the number 1 pick in the draft last year.
So that was their Ender's game?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm frustrating with my jokes today.
And, I mean, in so doing, they're obviously going all in this year, but at an amazing cost. And you have to wonder what else they could have gotten for that package. If they'd gone to, if they'd posted on the GM-only message board, we're willing to give away Inciarte, this guy I can't remember, and Dansby Swanson, I mean, I bet they could have gotten somebody better than that. And, the better story here is that the Braves rebuilding is over. They did it. Congratulations. They probably have a top 3 farm system now.
Yeah, they're going to be terrible for a while. I actually spent Thanksgiving with a family in-law of an in-law or something who was a Braves fan, and he told me the Giants only had one good player, so I stopped talking to him after that.
You mean the one from Georgia?
Yeah, he said Buster Posey. I was like, what about Madison Bumgarner? He's like, okay, 2 good players. I was like, all right, I'm not having this conversation. We can have a conversation about Jeff Samardzija very quickly. 5 years, $90 million for the Giants. Your take?
Well, I was initially down on it, partly because Jeff Samardzija was probably the worst pitcher in baseball last year. But
we talk ourselves into
coming
these
around
things.
on
Yeah,
it.
we talk ourselves into these things. That's what baseball is all about.
So here's the thing about Samardzija. Last year he led the league, or last in the league if you want. He gave the most hits, the most earned runs, and the most home runs in the major leagues. Now that's bad. Then again, he was pitching in U.S. Cellular Field, which is basically the moon, and on a bad defense. And every year before that, he's been an above-average pitcher, sometimes extremely above average.
You also have to be a reliable pitcher to start the whole season while leading the league in hits and runs. Most guys get yanked out of the rotation, but he has the reputation and the stuff that kept him in the rotation, so that's how he led. It's not that he was the worst pitcher, because the worst pitchers got sent down or released.
Right, and the White Sox had enough faith in him to even offer him a qualifying offer, which is a 1-year, $15 million contract. So they must have still liked what they saw in him, even after having a really bad season. Plus, when we talk about a really bad season, he was still better than Lincecum was 2 years ago.
Well, and they still signed him for $30 million for 2 seasons.
Yeah, so 5 years, so $90 million over 5 years is a lot of money, and they're giving away a first-round pick, but we knew that was gone anyway. But then you start thinking about, well, what if he comes to an extreme pitcher's park like San Francisco, and what if he's pitching in front of a really good defense like San Francisco? What if he's got, Dave Righetti, who by all accounts is a fantastic pitcher whisperer, and I'm starting to come around. And if you look at kind of the FIP stats on, his numbers were still bad, but they weren't quite as bad. And the fact is that starting pitchers are incredibly, incredibly hard to come by and expensive and valuable. And this guy has put up over 200 innings every year,
which is a value in itself.
Which is a tremendous value in and of itself. And they really, really needed somebody. And so he's got a really high upside. And if last year is his downside, then that sucks. But we can bet that his actual downside is probably going to be
closer to league average.
Closer to league average, maybe 60%, maybe like a high 3s, low 4s ERA instead of, 6. What was basically a 5 ERA last year. So, he immediately becomes probably the number 2 in the rotation. But if we're looking at, Bumgarner, Samardzija, Kane, PV, Heston.
Oh,
am I forgetting somebody here?
Not really.
Clayton
Blackburn.
Well, yeah. He adds at least an upside to the rotation that wasn't there before. So I talked myself into it, and I'm happy with it.
Damn.
And in this day and age, that's not that much money for, for a top. Middle to top shelf starter.
Danny, I need some lawyer takes.
Yes.
Is anyone else getting feedback? I can hear myself in my headphones. That's fine. Okay, it's gone. I need some lawyer takes. Aroldis Chapman, domestic violence, in the midst of being traded.
Yeah.
How could they nullify the deal? Was there no official deal yet?
Oh, there was no deal.
Okay. So they said it could take weeks to get it done. I don't know. What's the process here?
Well, presumably when the Dodgers were talking about it, they went to the Reds and they, started to do a little background check, and this thing popped up. I mean, if you want to read this god-awful article by Bob Nightingale on USA Today.
You could have just said Bob Nightingale article, Danny. I've read enough of them.
Yeah. It basically says the Reds were claimed that they didn't know, but the Dodgers found out, and the Red Sox knew. So, one side plot is that the Red Sox were interested in Chapman and then did a little research and decided to trade for Kimbrel instead. So you can suss out what you will from that.
Okay, so they might actually, the Dodgers might be in a pickle because they kind of pissed off Kenley Jansen.
Yeah, I mean,
he'll still pitch for them, but you don't want a guy who like, oh yeah, we're about to replace you, but that guy hit his girlfriend.
And fired his gun 8 times into their garage.
Why does everybody have a gun?
While a baby was asleep in the house, or
well, I don't care that a baby was asleep in the house. Doesn't matter. Why does a guy have a gun? Why does our oldest chap need a gun? He's got a cannon on his arm. One more lawyer take. Coach Steve Sarkisian was fired from USC for alcohol abuse after multiple warnings. He's now suing the university for his full salary and about twice that, about $30 million. 12 was left on his contract, and then he's suing for damages and mental anguish, which is always the phrase they throw around. Do you think he has a case?
Not
a case of beer, like a lawyerly court case.
Well, based on the research that I did in the 30 seconds leading up to this show,
pop the truck.
Reasonable accommodation for disability is no laughing matter. I mean, aside from the laughing that we're doing now, but the way that USC responded is that he didn't actually ask for help. He just kind of did his own thing. That if he had said, "I have this problem and I need time," then that would kind of invoke the California laws that would protect him. I don't claim to be an expert on this matter, but if that's true, I would assume that would hurt his case. But if not, then,
In California state law, alcoholism is a disability, but you have to have it known to your employer. You can't just willy-nilly invoke it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, that's what I would assume. The way that you see a lot of disability claims is if somebody hurts themselves and now they can't lift the boxes that they need to for their job, and so the employer needs to move them to a position where they can
answer phones.
So here, I mean, the reasonable accommodation would be presumably giving him time and sending him to rehab, but I can't really imagine that they would have a duty to do that if he didn't make them aware of the fact that
right. And he was on his way to rehab when he got fired. According to Sarkisian, he got the email on the plane going to rehab is when he got fired. So we'll keep you posted on this. I want to talk to you more about that, Danny, if things develop. We do have to go to another sponsor break, but stay on the line because you're going to do some NFL picks with us.
Sounds great.
All right, our next sponsor, Woodstock's Pizza. You know why they sponsor our NFL picks? Because they have the Sunday Ticket. You can watch every single NFL game there Thursday through Monday. They will show it. They will turn on the volume. They will serve you beer and pizza. There are 7 Woodstock's locations in California: San Diego, Isla Vista, San Luis Obispo, Santa Cruz, Davis, and Chico. If you're counting, there's 2 in San Diego. Don't try to call me on that. Beer, pizza, just a general good time. Well-priced. Chicken wings are excellent. They have a new couple menu items. There's a Butternutty Bliss Winter Harvest Pizza, Winter Harvest Salad. They're always doing cool things with the menu. So please go to Woodstock's, woodstockscruise.com here in Santa Cruz. Woodstockca.com is the website. You can order online, pick up, delivery, dine in. They do it all. Danny, your stamp of approval for Woodstock's?
Oh, yeah. That's where we cemented our friendship over pizza, beer, and women.
I don't cement anything over women. I'm a man of the night. Okay. That was an awkward comment to lead into NFL picks.
Okay.
I'm a little tired.
All right.
Let's through
pick some games.
Tory, I'm going to turn you on so you can actually talk on the show. Hello, producer Tory.
Hello. First,
stats.
Can we go back to the A's moving around? Because I have a recommendation.
Go for it.
They can become the Monterreys.
Oh, go away.
Why?
You're all welcome.
Oh.
All right.
Did you guys hear about did you hear about the trade of Brett Lorre?
Oh, did Brett Lorre get traded to the Rays?
No.
Who did he get traded to?
The White Sox.
The White Sox. Okay, I'm going to cover that for the morning show. Thank you, Danny. Tori, some statistics about how bad we are at picking football games.
Well, Joaquin, whose picks don't count anymore, went.
He's coming back. I let him back in. He's been really excited about the show lately.
All right.
He said he's even going to start watching college basketball. So.
One day.
What?
I'm going to watch people miss wide open 20-footers.
You're going to watch a Laker game? It's going to
be delightful.
You're going to watch a Laker game?
Hey, Kobe's taking contested shots.
Okay, Tori, go
ahead.
The
Lakers don't shoot open shots. What do you think this is?
Byron Scott
Spurs basketball?
He doesn't let them shoot open shots.
So Joaquin had 3 wins last week.
Yep.
There we go.
Thomas and Danny had 2, and I went for 1.
See, you played this overconfidence game, Victoria, and I don't think it's helping you at all.
Oh, it totally isn't.
You also don't watch football, so.
I made it to the playoffs in our fantasy. I always want to call it Final Fantasy football, which is
I wonder
so much
why.
worse.
I wonder why, Tory.
Because you're the biggest nerd in the entire world. The only reason we can get you into sports is because something you can nerd out on and make spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets.
I know you do. All right, so where are we at? Who's ahead still? Am I ahead?
You are ahead. You've got 29, 36, and 3. I'm at 27, 32, and 4, and Danny is 27, 38, and 3, and Joaquin is 23, 20, and 2.
So much smack was talked to me on this show about me, and I am not going to have it anymore.
You're ahead in raw wins.
Raw
wins.
But percentage-wise, not so great.
If you wanted to make any money betting on football games.
Go ahead, Danny.
Oh, no, it seems like our ranks are based on wins, not on percentage. What's the deal here?
I could do percentage, but Danny, you'd be doing so much worse.
Hey, I'm ahead of Joaquin on wins. I want to move up in the standing.
But percentage-wise, Joaquin is destroying all of us.
We can do it. Joaquin, since you like that per 100 stat, we'll do picks per 100, which I think is just called a percentage.
I will win 1,000 games in 1,000 years.
That's like one game a year.
All right, to the football.
To the football. Thursday night, Minnesota +9 in Arizona. We have to pick this one. The Vikings will make a huge step towards making the playoffs with a win. Arizona wins the NFC West and can't be lower than a 3 seed if they win. I was playing with the ESPN playoff machine today.
Is that like the trade machine?
Yeah,
but for football?
For playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Danny, go ahead. You start.
I'm taking the Cardinals -9. The Vikings have some serious injuries, particularly on defense.
All injuries are serious in the NFL, Danny.
Thanks, Thomas.
Haven't you seen the trailer for concussion?
Tell the truth.
So anyway, I think the Cardinals are going to score freely, and the Vikings don't have a passing attack, and Adrian Peterson can't throw the ball and catch the ball.
I don't think he can do either, really.
You can do one of the three.
Joaquin?
I'm taking the Cardinals.
Tory?
I'm taking the Vikings. I don't think the Vikes will win, but I think they can hold the line.
I didn't do my picks yet. I want to listen to what you people had to say. Joaquin, do you have a reason? Talk me into it.
The Vikings aren't good, and the Cardinals are.
But they're trying really hard to be good, and I think
But the Cardinals are like one of the few teams that we know are good.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm going to take the Cardinals.
That's my whole position.
The Vikings can't come back, and the Cardinals can score. Once the Vikings are down 2 touchdowns, the game's over, because their game plan is gone. So I'm going to take the Cardinals.
This game has strong potential for a backdoor cover.
Every game has a strong potential for a backdoor cover.
I just don't think that's true. I mean, what you see Teddy Bridgewater throwing deep against Patrick Peterson.
I see the Cardinals being up by 10 and then the Vikings getting a field goal in the 4th. That's what I see in terms of a backdoor cover.
The Vikings got one touchdown last week.
I think Arizona's winning this by 2 touchdowns.
They got 1 touchdown last week. Cordell Patterson runs back a kickoff to be down 35-7, and he dances his butt off because he's so special.
You can see a 17-7 game turning into a 17-10 game here.
That would be fantastic for the NFL on Thursday night. On Sunday night, another one we have to pick, Patriots laying 3.5 to the Texans. The Pats are coming off 2 straight losses. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's why I like the Pats.
Joaquin's taking the Pats. They can make this line high enough.
They can make this line. This line is -3.5. Houston. They need to make the playoffs. Yada yada yada. The Pats aren't going to lose 3 games in a row, and they're certainly not going to win this one by a field goal. They're winning this by maybe, but they're winning this one by a touchdown.
Okay.
Pats by -3.5.
Tory?
I really just want to see J.J. Watt sack Brady like 19 times.
So it'd be like
set some
win or
sort of
lose,
record.
win or lose, I don't care. I just want to see it happen. So I'm going to take the Texans just for the laugh it would be if they won.
This is how you're going to get back into it. You're going to get some like reverse weird jinx with J.J. Watt. I don't know. I'm taking the Patriots -3.5, and I know Danny is too.
Yep.
I know you so well, Danny.
My note that I wrote is the Patriots are still good and the Texans are still bad. Let's not get crazy here.
Let's not get crazy here. Well, let's get crazy on Monday Night Football with a fantastic game that we now have to pick between the Giants and the Miami Dolphins.
I'm voting for Team Meteor. I want to burn this game to the ground.
Can we call this the toilet bowl?
We absolutely can. One of these teams can make the playoffs still, and it's the New York Giants at 5-7.
The NFC East is just painful.
Tory, your turn to start.
As disappointing as the Giants have been in the last 90 seconds of every game lately, the Dolphins are just that disappointing all the time. So I'm going to take the Giants and keep being disappointed in Eli.
I'm going to take the Dolphins as well. Eli Manning has let me down too many times.
No.
Oh, you took the Giants?
I took the Giants.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't listening.
You never listen.
I'm taking the Dolphins. I don't know why. They're at home. Something's got to give. I know. Screw it. I'm taking the Giants. I changed my pick. Danny?
I'm going G-Man.
We're going to make Tory pick an opposite game from us.
We're making this a clean sweep. I'm going with the Giants.
Okay, I'm going back to the Dolphins then. I'm going to trust my gut. I'm going to pound my chest like Matthew McConaughey in The Wolf of Wall Street.
I believe that every Miami home game and every San Diego home game are free points because they don't actually have home field advantages.
Yeah, Vegas hasn't really adjusted to that yet. Okay, now we're going to get into what I call some headline games. We're going to talk about some teams in general. If you've picked this game, just go ahead and pipe in and say what you picked and why. Because I want to talk about the Bengals and Steelers because this is going to be a fantastic game. Since he's at home, favored by 3. I sat here in this chair last week and said they should cancel every future Bengals-Browns game.
And you were correct.
And I was absolutely correct. 37-3. Steelers need this one though. Since he's kind of coasting, they're 10-2. They're probably going to win the division, but the Steelers need a win here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers. They're getting 3 points. Taking the Steelers. I didn't like many of the other games.
Yeah, there's not a lot of good ones this week. Not even ones that you want to watch.
But this is a game I actually wouldn't mind watching. So why not wager on it?
Danny, Bengals versus Patriots in the playoffs. Bengals at home. Who do you take?
Patriots.
Okay. I think the Bengals are getting to the point where I might even pick them over the Pats on a neutral field or in Cincinnati.
So you're going to take the guy you're going to take the red rifle who crumbled in prime time and bet on him in the Super Bowl?
He has an offensive line. It won't be the Super Bowl.
Oh, well, AFC title game?
Yeah, whatever. Next game.
I would have to go Brady in that no matter what.
I think we're going to get both of Joaquin's wildcard picks out of the way quick because the next game is Panthers. They had already clinched the NFC South before they stepped onto the field and beat the Saints last week. That's incredible. Still undefeated. They're giving 7.5 to a desperate Falcons team. Tory, what do you think? Killer Cam?
Killer Cam. Cammy Cam loved the kids.
Joaquin, did you pick this one?
I did not pick it.
You didn't pick it?
No, Cam Newton is for the children, though.
For the children.
Okay, guys, scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it they go undefeated? Danny?
Who scares you in their upcoming schedule?
NFL teams. NFL teams just lose. It's what they do. It's why it's only happened twice.
Right, and NBA teams lose too, right?
The Warriors will eventually.
According to Steph Curry, the Warriors are going to lose before the Panthers do.
Okay. The Panthers are going to destroy Atlanta. They're almost certainly going to beat the Giants handily. They're going to destroy Atlanta again, and then you think Jameis Winston is going to end the streak?
NFL teams rest their players at the end of the season, and they inevitably lose 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, Riverboat Ron.
Chasing history hasn't worked out for those in the past, who have in the past.
That's true.
They're gonna if they chase history, and then they still have a week off. So
I'm just saying, in that major 1-year precedence of someone trying to chase history, it hasn't worked out well.
Yeah, because
I think if they lose 1 game, they're gonna lose 2. Because they're gonna say, well, we lost the record, so they'll bench people, but. If they're still undefeated going into the last few weeks, they're gonna play their game to win. Plus, Derek Anderson is probably better than most of the quarterbacks they're gonna face the last 3 weeks.
Oh, poor Matty Ice, Eli Manning, and Jameis Winston. They can't get any love. They're all better than Derek Anderson. The Chiefs have won 6 in a row. They're giving 10 to the Chargers. Anyone think the Chiefs can make a run?
Yeah, we talked about this a few weeks ago. The Chiefs are facing nobody for the rest of the season.
Yeah, but I mean a run as in win a playoff game.
Oh, no.
No. All right, next game.
Who are they going to face? They're going to be the wild card, so they're probably going to face
the Bengals
Denver?
or the Broncos or the Patriots, whoever doesn't get that first round bye.
Yeah, so
nope.
My little E40 coming out.
They might be able to beat Indy.
Well, who's going to be Indy's quarterback? The 4-0 Matt Hasselbeck? 5-0 Matt Hasselbeck. What is Matt Hasselbeck now? He's some ridiculous stat.
He's like 40.
Cowboys, he's 4-0 and 4-0. Cowboys at Green Bay in the afternoon on Sunday, getting 7.5 for the Cowboys. Danny, you had them as still alive, and they are technically still alive.
Exactly. I was talking about the rest of the division, not them.
Oh, do you think at 4-8 they can make a push with Matt Castle?
Not at all. Not even close.
Okay, did you pick this game? I know you love the Cowboys.
Not even close.
Okay, the Packers can beat Matt Castle. I'm not going to take this game. Any other takers?
Mm-mm.
All right, Tori, I need your first wild card game.
49ers and Browns.
I'm with you. We're taking the Niners, right?
Always bet against the Browns.
We're taking the Niners.
The Browns are 29th in the NFL on defense with almost 400 yards allowed per game. And the 49ers are getting points, so I'm taking those points.
Give me Blaine Gabbert over Johnny Foosball.
Yes.
How are those two guys starting an NFL game?
Blaine
for
Gabbert
opposing
looks
teams?
pretty good.
Blaine Gabbert's 2-2.
Sure.
He had a 44-yard
Gabbert
touchdown run and then a 71-yard bomb.
He did.
He did.
I mean, how many NFL teams would prefer to have Blaine Gabbert over their guy right now? I mean,
Indianapolis.
5 or 6 at least. Yeah, that's saying something, though, for Blaine
I mean,
Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert's playing better than, let's see, Case Keenum / Nick Foles.
But we all have to believe there are only actually like 10 people who are good at quarterback in the world,
That's
right?
true. He's probably better than Blake Bortles, which is ironic considering the Jags didn't keep him. I think what happened is Tory Smith is actually shaped like a giant shoe, and so that's the only thing Blaine Gabbert knows how to hit with a football, so I think that was it. Joaquin, your first pick.
We
did one of yours already. So
my
your
second pick, I'm taking Tampa Bay as a home underdog.
Me too. No, they're
home favorite. Home favorite.
Minus
Tampa
4
Bay
against
minus
New
4 over
Orleans.
New Orleans. But I'm just betting against New Orleans. I'm just hanging out over here.
Oh, I also took Tampa Bay.
Oh, my goodness. 3 of us
no.
wild card pick on Tampa Bay. Danny, you want to hop on?
Danny, you want to go the other way
no.
and make up a game?
The Saints passing
I'm
defense
not betting
is
on
awful.
Tampa or Atlanta.
The Saints are 2-4 on the road. That defense just does not travel. I mean, it doesn't play well at home, but they definitely don't travel at all. That secondary, if Ted Ginn knew how to catch.
Let's just say no one in their right mind would actually bet on this game. But
Well, we know a few people who aren't in their right mind.
Exactly.
So. I guess that's both of my picks. Danny, what's your second one?
Bills at Eagles. I'm taking the Bills -1.
This is the Shady Bowl, the Shady McCoy Bowl. He's coming back for revenge.
I don't think the Eagles are going to get 3 kick return touchdowns again, and I think the Bills are legitimately good.
How dare you say that about Chip Kelly? Chip Kelly's a good coach and a great general manager.
Okay, Chip Kelly's mom.
She has a very husky voice.
I think the Bills are good. They're a legitimately good team. The Eagles are not. I don't understand why this is 1 point.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, those are our picks. Tori's going to lock those in. Danny, as always, thank you for coming on the show, my friend. Go be a lawyer.
Thank you.
Go lawyer.
Okay.
See you, bud. All right, our last sponsorship break. Ken Keegan, local artist and good friend. You can find all of his art on artwanted.com by searching his name, Ken Keegan. That's Kenkeegan. His Mets are done, but not done completely. We were talking to Tory about Yoenis Cespedes maybe coming back. Doesn't look too good, but they're going to have that young pitching core that Ken really enjoys watching. He's a long-haired guy himself, so he likes the DeGrom and the Syndergaard. Once again, that's artwanted.com. Ken Keegan, Kenkeegan. And that's it for our sponsorships. It's time for Tory Topics, my favorite part of the show, where Tory fires random things she found on Reddit at us, and we respond in real time with jokes.
German soccer player makes sexist comment, is sentenced to referee girls' soccer match.
Well, that's a sexist punishment, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you're saying the girls' soccer match would be below him.
No,
so
you're saying that it's like immersion therapy. He needs to be around women.
Or it's a good thing he's not a water polo referee. Immersion therapy is a little different in that sport.
How do they get the horses in the pools?
Oh, my goodness. Stop with that joke. Joaquin, you want to talk about Champions League while we're on soccer?
Sure.
What do you got? What are your hot flaming sports takes?
I have no
takes.
I just have a little bit of news, just for all the listeners out there who want to know things, want to know about soccer.
For Neil Proberg.
Yeah, exactly. Well, just a couple of interesting tidbits. Arsenal made it through through past the group stages for something like the 16th straight year.
Wow.
And they actually needed to win. They needed to win by at least 2 or score at least 3 goals and still win by 1. And they won 3-0.
That's a confusing game.
It's all about goal differential and a head-to-head tiebreaker.
And there's aggregate stuff, and oh boy.
Yeah, but anyways, they did it. Olivier Giroud, who Tory would be interested in looking up.
Wait, what's his name?
Olivier Giroud.
Is he a large man?
He's French. He scored his first hat-trick for Arsenal, and they made it through. Other English teams making it through are Chelsea and Manchester City, while Manchester United fell out of the contention for the Champions League.
This guy looks like if Zac Efron wasn't a douchebag.
Good Lord.
Tori's now up out of her seat on my monitor with her headset on and just said, "Oh, good Lord." Looks like a male Mia Hamm.
And also, Real Madrid teammates Karim Benzema and Cristiano Ronaldo became the first teammates to score hat tricks in the same game as Madrid thumped their opponents 8-0.
Wow.
Twinsies.
Yeah, that's about it.
How are my Bundesligas doing? My Bayerns.
Your Bayern Munchens. They won their group handedly, and they'll likely move on to at least the semifinals.
What about Leverkusen?
Chicharito scored a goal, but I'm not sure they made it through. Yeah, they didn't make it through.
I root for the Leverkusen.
Yeah, sorry. No Bayer Leverkusen past the group stages. VSV Wolfsburg made it, though.
Okay, I can live with that.
There you go.
I love the Bundesliga. I just love saying Bundesliga.
Quick champion. Arsenal's German player Mesut Ozil's in the form of his life.
Özil.
The guy who kind of looks like a praying mantis.
Yeah, I'm still a Schweinsteiger fan through and through. That's my guy.
He got charged with violent conduct for throwing a nasty elbow this past weekend.
No longer my guy.
Okay.
He's still my guy. I still love Bastian Schweinsteiger.
All right, so that's your Champions League wrap up. We would have some like catchy little music sound intro outro.
If we were a real show.
The Joaquin talks about soccer for 5 minutes segment.
All right, Tory, back to the topics. No more soccer.
So let's file this one under totally worth it. Antonio Brown has been fined for his touchdown celebration against the Colts.
I loved it.
I mean, if you're going to sexually assault a touchdown pole, you may as well.
A touchdown pole?
A goal post.
Goal post.
Words are hard, man.
Although I like the idea that it's the touchdown pole.
The touchdown pole.
Well, they should be dancing on it more then.
Exactly.
I mean, if that post hadn't been dressed so provocatively.
You're going to be cross-barred from this conversation if you can't be careful. I'm getting a little upright.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's what the part of the show's for. People don't have to listen. They can turn off their podcast. They can turn off their radio. That's fine.
Or they can stay for the sweet, sweet Thomas Todd puns.
After dark. Yeah, that's what it is. No, I liked it because it was very Andre Rison-esque, from the 90s. I don't know if Antonio Brown's even old enough to know or watch Andre Rison's house burn down on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Does he have a girlfriend that's lighting shoes on fire in the bathtub? Is that what we're getting at?
Oh, I miss you, homegirl.
R.I.P. Left Eye. Left Eye had a dream.
No, that's Brandon Marshall's wife.
Kendrick have a dream.
Kendrick have a dream.
So,
there's that game song. There's that song by The Game where he says Malcolm. He mentions Malcolm, and Martin Luther King, and Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Well, that's the three. That's your Mount Rushmore.
Those are your big three.
Throw DJ Spinderella on there, and you got yourself a Mount Rushmore.
So video shows D'Angelo Russell mimicking Kobe and then airballing a shot.
Shades of Blake Griffin mimicking Austin Rivers.
Literally yells Kobe and then throws an air ball.
Yeah, I saw a link to that video and I resisted clicking. I'm trying to stay away.
You love Kobe so much, Joaquin. You're Kobe's biggest supporter.
No, I'm just staying away from all things Lakers as much as possible. It's really depressing, man. Did you see there was a shot of D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle like staring off into space while sitting on the bench during the fourth quarter for no reason. It broke them.
It wasn't for no reason. There was a reason.
There was a reason, and that reason is Byron Scott.
The reason is they lost to the Philadelphia 76ers, who have one win, and it's over them.
Yeah, the Philadelphia 76ers had a really good chance of going defeated this year.
That's like if you're the pitcher who gave up a home run to Charlie Brown. You're like, this guy was designed to fail. This guy was supposed to lose everything he ever did.
It's like if you were the person who didn't pull the ball back when Charlie Brown went to go kick it.
You let him kick a field goal?
You actually let him kick it.
I have to thank the Lakers, though, because for once the Kings are not the worst team in California.
Does Charlie Brown play for the Browns, by the way?
In my fictional universe, yes.
Okay,
the Cleveland Charlie Browns?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do
essentially.
That. Yeah, because they did fail on that kick that the Ravens took back. I think maybe the punter should have pulled it back, Charlie Brown style. Sorry, you're talking about the Kings?
The Kings have a chance to be decent. I still believe if they were in the East, they could make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of talk about how the East is more competitive this year, but the West is top heavy enough that these teams just get losses they
just
don't
keep
need.
Picking the wrong players.
I don't know, Rondo.
Rondo was a good pick, but they could have Isaiah Thomas. Who's the other backcourt guy they let go?
Nick Stauskas? I think that's okay. They let Stauskas go to the 76ers, and I think he's doing not well.
Marco Bellinelli's smelly beard. Ugh.
Hey, Marco Bellinelli lit it up for the Spurs after being atrocious for the Dubs.
No one wants to guard him because he stinks.
You think that's their strategy? They got Bellinelli and Caspi out there. And
no,
they
that's
just
why the Spurs have so many international players. There's less showers.
They're trying to save money. They're skipping on the water bill down in Texas.
Bathe in the Riverwalk.
Oh, God.
All right, Tori.
So, speaking of our three-person unanimous pick, Jameis Winston asked the huddle who wants to score a touchdown, and Evans was the first to answer. Then he caught the game winner.
What if the left guard was like, me, James, me.
Pick me.
Pick me.
Line him up as tight end eligible, refrigerator Perry style.
Yeah, or hand him the ball. Let him run with it.
Just run downhill, big man.
So when he asked that question, there's only like 3 guys who can answer, right? So the 2 guys were just snoozing.
What if he answered himself? What if he asked it rhetorically and said, "Shut up, I'm doing it."
It's me. And then Blaine Gabbert scampers 44 yards into the end zone. That's a good one. Okay, I think we have time. Blaine Scamper. We have time.
A year ago, the Panthers beat the Saints in the Superdome by racking up 41 points, 497 total yards, and 36 minutes of possession. This week, the Panthers beat the Saints in the Superdome with 41 points, 497 yards, and 36 minutes of possession.
Wow.
The Saints just aren't that good.
They got Superdome.
Is that the takeaway? Oh, God. Is that the takeaway?
Yeah, the Saints are bad. They're going to fire their coach. He's going to end up coaching in Dallas because Jerry Jones is a maniac.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be bad, too. The Saints will rebuild.
Sounds great to me.
They just have no defense.
As long as Dallas is bad. As long as it works out with Dallas being bad, I think I'm most committed to hating the Cowboys when it comes to paying attention to the NFL.
You are a good sports fan.
They're America's team.
America's team to hate.
No, the Bengals are America's team now. Everyone has to root for the Bengals.
Yeah, I agree.
No Gingers ever won the Super Bowl.
I mean, I do like the Bengals over the Go-Go's.
Oh, God.
That's a mic drop moment for Tory.
It's a manic Wednesday. I got nothing else. Your eternal flame lights one more question, Tory.
So this one is heartbreaking, but not surprising for me. The Giants would be 9-3 if the games had ended with 75 seconds left in regulation.
So would the Seahawks. The Seahawks would be undefeated. They've led in every game, every fourth quarter.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. The Giants would be good if UI wasn't terrible.
The Giants would be good if they would stop, clutching defeat from the jaws of victory.
All right, well, that's our show. I'm Thomas Todd. That's Tory Feeney and Joaquin Nagel. We are Coach's Decision. Find us on iTunes by searching that name. Thank you to KSCO. Thank you to Chris Spencer behind the boards. KSCO 1080, Santa Cruz, Salinas, Monterey.